Welcome back, friends. We have a jet, we have space, we have cool fonts, but we can't fly. We are just watching a movie. Today, we are going to add keyboard controls so we can fly the jet. Now, beginners often make a mistake here. They tell the code, when I press the key, move 10 pixels. Do not do this. If you hold the key, the browser will pause, stutter, and then repeat. It feels lagging. Instead, we are going to use the input state pattern. First, we need a place to remember which keys are currently being pressed. We'll use a simple object called keys. So let's create an object, this.keys. Then we'll add some event listeners for key down and key up. So we'll call some function, we'll define it afterwards. And same we'll create for key up also. And on key up. So now let's define this function. Now let's create the listeners. We aren't moving the fighter jet here. We are just flipping a switch. So let's create how. On key down, we'll get the event here. So on key down, we'll same for. We aren't moving the fighter jet here. We are just flipping a switch. If I press arrow up, I set it to true. And then when I release it, it will be set to false. So now inside a game loop which runs 60 times every second, we check those switches. If the switch is on, we move the fighter jet. So now let's code here. So I'm taking some speed as maybe let's say 5. So now I'll check which keys are pressed. If the dot keys, arrow down, or key W. Then what we'll do, we'll move our fighter 5 pixels above. So now maybe there is some issue. Let's check. So I'm checking arrow down, speed into delta. Now we'll do same for all others. So I think here it should be arrow up. Now I can move to it. Now let's add the functionality for all four directions. So on arrow down will move down, and here it should be key S. Then on arrow left and for arrow key A will move the X, and then for arrow right and key D will move it right, the X of it. So let's say, and let's check how it's working. So you can see if I'm pressing right arrow or D, I'm going to right. If I'm pressing left arrow or A, I'm going to left. And if I press arrow up or W key, I'm going up. And on pressing arrow down and key S, I'm going down. And because we use independent if statements, we can move diagonally by holding up and right at the same time. There is one problem. I can fly away and never come back. We need to clamp the position to screen size. So let's say if I press above key, I can go out of the screen. So now let's write clamping logic inside the update. So let's write if this.fighter dot x is less than 0, or let's say less than this dot fighter dot width by 2, then we'll set the x of our fighter to the width by 2. So let's like, so now I am pressing the left key, but my fighter is not going out of the boundary. So now let's add the same conditions for all the borders. So for if I go to the far left, I'll check if my this dot app dot screen dot width minus, so I'll give the position to same position to my jet. So now if I press right key, I'm not going outside the right boundary. So in the same way, you can write the logic for top and bottom boundaries also. So to recap, don't move objects inside the event listener. Do use the event listener to toggle true false, like I am doing here. Do update the position inside update loop based on those flags. Now we have a playable fighter. In the next video, we are going to give this fighter a purpose. We'll start creating enemies using a technique called object pooling. See you there. Thank you.